Okay, so moving on with today's session. So, before getting into that, I just want to run by like the five purposes of a website. So there are a whole range of varying purposes as to why you may need a website. It's always unique to the person based on their need or their business. So you don't know two websites are the same and no two purposes are the same either. So likewise, there are different reasons why you may want to even have a website. And so these are like the most common. Of course, it's not like the only reasons why, but the most common reasons why you would have a website, which is to collect leads is one option, or if you're trying to build an email list or a community. So if you're trying to collect a repository of people that you would like to send newsletters out to, that would be one reason why you would have a website. And you can have them come in, and Zoho Sites also provides you with the features where you can build a community via having like chat boxes or having like a comment section where people can talk to each other. And also with the access restriction and member portal functionalities that I'm going to be getting more in detail into a little later in this session, you can create nice little communities of people to come together and discuss on relevant topics. And so also for booking and scheduling, so we also have an integration with Zoho Booking, so you can have people come and book appointments. Let's say you are a therapist of some sort, or you're having like a particular business that would require some sort of booking or scheduling functionality. So we have those type of options available as well. And so you would have a website, people will contact you via that, book a session for whatever it is of a service that you're offering. And then we also have giving information or support or educating. So if you're anywhere in the sphere of thought leadership, and so basically just getting your content out there. So you'd be a person who is regularly posting your content, getting your ideas and thoughts out there. So having a website would be a platform for you to do so. And then finally, to sell products online. So for any of you who are not already aware, Zoho Sites also has what we could call a sister product, maybe, which is called Zoho Commerce, which is an e-commerce solution where you can add in products and sell products online by creating like a website, and then like how you would have an online store essentially. So that is a solution that we provide as well. And getting on with today's agenda. So we're going to be talking about two main points, which is going to be website personalization and website customization. So under personalization, we're going to be covering the topics of the member portal, access restriction, and contributors. And so I'll be getting into more detail, of course, but the member portal is an area where you can have members either sign up or sign in so that they can view restricted content. So if you have certain pages that you only want a certain amount of visitors to view, you can set up a portal, categorize that into groups, and you can choose who can view and access what content. We also have access restriction, which allows you to create intranet websites. So you can have a website that can be accessed only by your organization, and you can even further protect that by having a set of people in that organization access it. So I'll be getting into those functionalities as well. And then we have the contributors, where you can invite people who are either from your organization or out of your organization to come and help you add content or edit content, or build your website along with you. And then we have customization, which would be the advanced visual editor. So this particular tool helps you design the very intricate aspects of your template, which would actually only be done if you contact either a developer or a designer to help you. So this tool literally makes it very simple and easy for you to customize and design your website by yourself with literally just a click of a button. And the designs that you do are very expensive, and so that is what the advanced visual editor helps you do. And then apart from that, for those of you who need even more expensive customization and you would like to get into the coding part of things, which is the CSS and the JS code snippet area of things. So this is basically where you can go and get particular codes and add them to the header or the CSS of your website to get your website to perform a specific functionality. And so we're going to be getting into these topics today. And starting off with website customization, what I've said before, customizing is like, you have your pre-built templates that you choose when you first build your website. So getting into customizing that aspect. So these type of customizations will reflect like site-wide. So it's not just a matter of adding elements or rearranging it. It's a matter of changing the whole look and feel of your website. You can also make like minor tweaks to fit your requirement, and you can also create even more interactive elements. So this would be very kind of nice. So when your visitors come in and they see your website, you'll have like a lot of interactive components. So it won't just be like a stagnant website that they just read through. There'll be like things that they can also interact with. And then yeah, so getting into the CSS side of things. So what happens is that the CSS, it helps you with the visual aspect. So it's mainly, CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. So these are the kind of styles that are displayed on your website. So it kind of depicts or kind of defines the way the design of your website works. And so it helps you edit the visual elements of your website. And so I have like a little demo video that I will show all of you as to how you can edit the design part of, or the CSS part of your website. And again, this comes in the coding aspect of things. Of course, we have a lot of extensive options that you can use to design your website like on your own, but this is also an option that we provide. And then we have JavaScript. So JavaScripts are the type of events that get triggered when you hover your mouse over. So there are like there's like a list of the different types of events that would invoke a JavaScript event to happen. And so there are a lot of ways in which, like if you click on an element, then this would happen, or if you hover over this, another event should get triggered. So the most common JavaScript event that we've been asked for is for a clickable banner, which is where instead of just having a button, when you have your website published, you click on the banner and that will redirect you to whichever URL you have specified in your script. And so what we've done is we have compiled a list of the frequently asked JavaScript events, and we've put it together in a help document, which I'll be sharing with all of you later. So you can also try adding that into your website and seeing how that works for you. And then we have the member portal. So basically the member portal, as I've mentioned before, is a means of which you can grow your community. So when people come to your website, they can feel welcome because they feel like a sense of belonging. You have like a group of people who can access certain content, and so they can kind of talk and vibe about that. And then you have a simple, sign up and log in as well. And so with the member portal, you can have members come in by either inviting them, by sending an invite to them, and if they accept the invite, they will become a member. Otherwise, you can also have a sign-in option in your website where they can come and request to sign into your website, and then you can accept their request, and then once it's approved, they become a member. And then once they come into your member portal, you can take your members and segregate who gets to see what content. So there's a way in which you can group them as well. And so that is how you can take control with groups. And so all of these will be shown to you a little later on in the demo also. And then, as I mentioned before, we have access restriction, which is building intranet websites. And so if you have a website by default will be accessible by the total, by the public in general. And if you want to just have your website to be accessible by people only within your organization, you can do so with Zoho sites as well. And even within your organization, if you want to create an even tinier, like a subset or a niche of people within your organization that you would like to access that, you have the freedom to do so as well. And so these options are available to you. So apart from just building and customizing your website, we've taken things a little further by providing all of these extensive options to make your website a little more like wholesome and well-rounded in a sense. And the different access levels that we provide for access restriction are org public, which I mentioned before. So when your website is set on when it's set on org public, it is for anybody within your organization to see. And then if it's on org private, it's going to be for that niche of people who are in your organization to see. Then you have the normal public area where anybody in the world can access your website. Then you have the groups, which is a subset of the member portal. So that also kind of melds in with your access restriction as well. And then we have the contributors, which I mentioned before. You can grant 4 levels of access. So you have the admin, author, developer, and guest. And so admin and author levels of access can be given to people who are in your organization. And so the admin has like the same or equal rights as the site owner to edit and customize whatever it is that they would like to. But apart from the fact that they cannot delete the site, and the author can only have read and write access for certain parts of content what you have enabled for them to view. So once you choose like author access, you can choose which pages they can or cannot edit as well. So even that customization can be done. And then you can grant developer and guest access to people who are not a part of your organization. So let's say that you would like to give your website for design. And you want a developer to come in and kind of give some designer customization, then you can have them access your website by granting them developer access. You enter their email address, they accept the invite, and then they become a contributor to your website. So that's basically how contributors work. And so here, as I mentioned before, are all of the links. So all of these points that I have mentioned before have been explained in extensive detail by either me or Kritika. We have been working on it, on all of these webinars over the past few months. And so we've done a whole webinar just on the advanced visual editor alone, a whole webinar on the HTML, CSS, on member portal access restriction, and even on SEO integrations. So if any of these pique your interest, do be sure to check it out. And you can always view it. It's on YouTube, so I've just kind of compiled everything together for ease of access for all of you. So you can always take these links down and check them out whenever it is that you're required to. And so I'll just start up the demo video really quick and show you how we're going to be covering in this particular demo. We're going to show how you can activate and enable your member portal, as well as we're going to also talk a little bit about the visual editor and the customizations that you can do with that. So with that being said, Kritika, are there any questions that I can answer before we get into the demo, or shall we save that up till the last? Okay. I think she is occupied responding to messages right now.
Oh,
so
no. Christine, what's
yeah.
up? What happened? Sorry.
I think you were with the messages. No, I just wanted to ask you if there are any questions that I can answer before we get into the demo, or shall we save that up to the last Q&A session, or
Okay, sure.
yeah.
Okay. No, I think there was like a delay in getting your messages. So I was
Okay.
okay.
All
So
right.
sorry.
That's
So there
okay.
was one question about
Yes.
the member portal and
Mm-hmm.
connecting it with the member portal in books and other things. I mean, Naresh has answered it.
Okay.
But the thing is, I don't think so. Like there is a direct integration between member
Right.
portal and books and sites. I mean, it's in the plans, but right now we don't have like a tentative deadline on that. But it's
Mm-hmm.
in the pipeline. So yeah.
For sure.
So I just
Okay.
wanted to, because that was a repeated question last time. So
It was, yes.
yeah,
Okay, fine. Thank you.
yeah.
So yeah, I'll just continue with the demo then. And while that is running, if any of you have any questions, be sure to shoot it our way. Myself, Kritika, and Naresh are here to answer anything that you would like to tell us. So please, engage us, and let's keep this conversation going. And so with that, I will just start. All right, so this is a member portal which I have set up. So when you want to go about inviting users, you click on the invite button, and then you type in the email address of the person you would like to invite. Be sure to click enter, so you can add like multiple email addresses that way. And then there is that, as I mentioned before, that option to add members directly to a group. And so if you already have groups set up, you can just, again, if you enable this button, you can just add them directly to the group that you would like them to go to. Otherwise, they just go into the default portal. So yeah, the group would appear there. I haven't set one up yet, but that's how it would work. And then you click invite, and then the invite is sent. And so you can see that you have like a little database for all the pending invites for people who have not accepted your invite yet. And so you can see that it's visible over there to help you keep track of the people that you've invited and who have accepted or not accepted. And then you can also, search for members. So here is a member that is added to the portal. You can view that member's info. Now, the credentials that I have given were, the first name, the last name, so on and so forth. You can see the account status, and whatever other options are there. You can also edit the info of this member or delete the member. So these options are provided. And then once we get back, you can see that you can also right here on this page add like pages and files that you would like this member to access. And then I'm going to show you how you can take members and put them into groups. So this is the all members portal. And so what you want to do is you want to go and add the pages. Yeah, so now if you want to add a group, you add the group name. So in this particular example, I'm just going to call it photographers because it is like a restaurant and they have like a little bit of a portfolio of all the dishes that they have. So in this instance, per se, let's say that, you have like an in-house photographer and you want them to access all the images alone and, like view what is there. You have like a group of people who are interested to view just the image, the photos of your restaurant. So you can have like a portal for just that. So that is what this example is trying to illustrate. So now the photographers group is created and you can view the info of that group and you can add members. So we'll add a member now. So you just have to type in the email address of the member. Now it's already indexed, so it'll appear automatically. And then you can choose the pages that you would like this member to access. So you add the pages and then you select the pages that are on your website. So I'm just going to add in the gallery page and the menu page, as well as the contact page, just for example's sake, apart from the other pages that are already available. So then all you have to do is click OK and then go and publish your website. And you can also see that you can remove pages at any point in time as well if you don't want them to access those pages any longer. So once you hit publish and access the published site, for example, you can see right now that without signing in, so without the person signing in, this is how the website would look like. So you just have the pages that are not part of the portal available, which is just like the home, about us, thank you, and blog page, as you can see. And then once you sign in and enter in your credentials, like I'll be showing, you enter in your email address and your password. So these are your credentials to get into this portal. And then you sign in and then you are in the portal. And so now you can see that the gallery and the contact page are available, and as well as the other page, which is the menu page, which wasn't available before. So that's basically how the member portal helps you kind of restrict access to pages. And so you can see that the page that wasn't available before is now available because we've grouped it into that portal for this particular user to access. And once you sign out, you see that you can also sign up if you're not a member. And so this is what the sign-up sheet would look like. And so you just follow the on-screen instructions, you enter in your credentials, and then you have your membership sent out. And then the person who is the owner of the site can either choose to accept or reject the request. So now we have it set on public, and as you can see, like everyone in the world can access your website. With our private, only organization members who have the link can access it. So I'm just trying to show you how you can get that set up as well. Again, access restriction is another setting that you will find right under the member portal setting in your settings bar. And then You can go and add members from your organization. So, for instance, this is just a member who is a part of my organization who I'm adding. And again, this is on the basis of them accepting your invite and then being able to access your website. So these are all the organization members that are invited, a few of them added, a few of them are yet to accept. So that is just another level of restriction that you can provide for your website. So that was how, the configuration of both the member portal and access restriction works. And in the meantime, I was taking a look at a few of the questions that came up. So we had a question from Matt, and he was wondering about how the mobile optimization feature works on our website builder. Kritika and Naresh have answered, but just to project it out there for those of you who are wondering, Zoho Sites is all of our templates are automatically optimized for mobile. So what happens is that whatever template you choose will be automatically optimized for your desktop, tablet, and mobile devices as well. But there are a few technicalities that may come into play, and that's just based on maybe the images that you add. So what we try to do is we make sure that the design that we provide for our templates will not cause this problem. But again, as I've mentioned before, all of your requirements and things like that do vary. So if there is like an image optimization problem, it could kind of look a little wonky on your handheld devices as opposed to how it would look on your desktop. And so when those type of situations come into play, you can always contact us and we'll see what we can do to help you out with that. But apart from that, if you're just going to go with the template that we choose and just do like a simple replacement of images or a replacement of content, things should run rather smoothly. So I hope that answers your question, Matt. And then we also have a question from Jesse asking about, if we integrate with Zoho Form and Zoho Sign, and will all of that data that gets collected get pushed to Zoho CRM? So we don't really have an integration with Zoho Sign yet, but we are integrated with Zoho Forms, and all the forms that you build on your Zoho sites is innately built on Zoho Forms, and so the database also can be found within your website builder. And then if you are using your forms via Zoho CRM, so we have the Zoho CRM web forms as well. So any data collected through your Zoho CRM forms will be stored in your CRM's database. And so we have those type of integrations as well as a whole bunch of others, like literally 9 other products integrate with Zoho sites. And so you can check out, as I showed you in the slide before, our integrations webinar where we've covered all the integrations that we have with not just Zoho sites, but other third-party applications as well. So it's rather interesting, so you can check it out. And before I get into the other, yeah,
There are a lot of questions
I
because
see that. I do.
okay, so I mean, I'll just throw a few at you. Uh, so Charles is asking. I mean, apparently, I think he has been into the webinar or something, and he has asked this question before. Allowing member access with individual right to their specific record and related records in CRM. So Charles, we don't have that. I remember this question.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. So I mean, there is no update as of now. As in,
Yeah.
I did throw this scenario to a couple of people. They said that is something not possible with sites and
Sorry, I had to refresh my browser. It's a little cloudy on this side of town, so a little bit of a net connectivity issue.
I thought I conked out. I think there was some issue with the portal
Yeah,
itself, Christine. So
yeah,
yeah,
I couldn't
okay.
hear you, and so I was like, okay, maybe.
So
Right.
sorry about that. So I think we'll move on with the demo, and then
Okay,
we'll take the rest of the questions.
for sure, for sure. With this particular feature, we've taken the need for customization and pushed it one step further by creating the advanced visual editor. It combines the functionalities of the customization toolbox along with the ease of application of the visual editor. So you can implement customization that would usually require extensive coding, all with just a click of a button. And so in order to access your advanced visual editor, you click settings at the top of your builder, you get to visual editor, you click the advanced setting, and here you can see every setting that we provide. And so we provide settings for both your elements and for your header parts of your website. And so you can see how when you can change the color of the button, it will reflect not only on this particular button on this page, but throughout your website altogether. Likewise, when we go to the header, you can see how you can change the font size of your heading along with the font style and such. And so that reflects and you can preview that immediately. And once you hit save, it gets saved, and then the only thing you have to do after that is hit publish and you're good to go. And so what makes the advanced visual editor very special is that when you take a look at the element toolbox, which only customizes individual elements. So the advanced visual editor will help you customize more detailed aspects of your selected element site-wide. So for example, take a look at the settings that are available for this heading element. And so when you take a look at this, you can see that you can modify individual heading properties, but at the same time, it will only get reflected for this particular element. But if you go to the advanced visual editor and choose the heading element, you can specify the H1, H2 tags. And so what you can do is you can see how the color is applied for each theme. So you have the dark theme, the light theme. So you can change the color of that and it reflects instantaneously. You have, you can change it, you can make it yellow, you can make it whatever it is that you would like to. And so it just reflects. So now because we've made edits to the H5 and the H2 tags, that is how it will show, and it reflects site-wide. So getting into detail with the element editing in the advanced visual editor, we have the heading element. So now based on whichever element it is that you have added to your page, you can customize that as and how you wish to. So here again, we're taking the H2 tag, we're changing the font style. So you can see how the font style has been changed. The color can be customized. You can choose the opacity. You can change the size of it, according to how it is that you would like to. Again, everything is just up to you. You can even choose how spaced out you want the text to be from each other, and even individually how spaced out you want each character to be from each other. And so you can see in this example, everything is spaced out how we've specified it. So that's one of the options that you can do when it comes to the heading. And so next, when it comes to paragraph, you have more or less of the same type of settings. So you can specify either if it's a text or if it's a link. And what you can do with that is, again, you can go about changing the style, the size, the height, And so I'll just give you a quick example of how that may look as well. So now we've changed the font size, and you can see how it reflects. You can make it bigger, smaller. You can go about changing the color of it as well. And so that's just my quick example on how, of course, when you guys have the time, you can make it way better. But yeah, just to show you an example of how it may look. And then we have the header. And so this helps you modify the header portion of your website. And this is in the advanced visual editor as well. So now when we're talking about header, this covers features such as the site name, the site caption, navigation, submenu, so on. So these are all the things that are pertaining, the elements that are pertaining to the header part. So as you can see, we're increasing the font size of the heading, which would be like the name of your website, of course. You can modify the color for these particular aspects of your website as well. And then you can also choose if you want like all of it in uppercase or lowercase. The font style can be set in that way. And when it comes to the advanced visual editor, you can reset every single portion of edit that you have made without having to change everything. So if we're working with the site caption or the site name and you want to like reset that particular element to its default setting, you can do that by clicking on the reset button. You can change and edit the navigation. So over here now the navigation font has been modified. You can also change the burger icon. So the burger icon is what will appear in your mobile and in your tablet, in that portion of your website. And so you can change that as well. Contact info top bar. You can even make edits to your social icons and your member portal. So here, as you can see, we have the member portal enabled, and so you can change the font style and color and size. And so, right, basically when it comes to these features, the whole idea behind doing this is so that you can design your website just the way you like. You can just create stunning edits with ease, all with the click of a button. And so this means that anyone, and I mean like literally anyone, can create a website by themselves without having to write a single line of code. As you've seen, it's literally that simple. So please go give it a try. So that brings us to the end of our demos. And with that being said, like as your business evolves, so will the purpose of your website. And so, um, what we the idea behind us providing these advanced features is to help you guys have a better customer experience. So it's not just a matter of just, okay, let's build a website and put it out there, but how we can help better that whole experience or that journey with all of you. And so that is why we have come out with features like the advanced visual editor, member portal, and such. And so with that being said, we are at the end of our session where we will be taking the Q&A. So thank you once again for joining us. And again, you can write to us if you're not able to, really reach out to us in this moment in time. You can always email us at marketing@sofasites.com or contact us on our social media channels. And I thank you once again. And now we're opening up for the Q&A session. So do ask us your questions. You all have been a lovely audience. Thank you.
So, Christine.
Yes.
So, Richard, I'm not sure whether your question is related to access control. So, if you can relate it to your presentation, you go ahead and answer. Like, when a password is entered, can the view be
Yeah.
edited to toggle show password?
I mean, I guess it looks like this message came up when I was
I was
talking
doing it.
about the
Yeah.
member. Yeah, so I think maybe it is pertaining to that. But I'm sorry, Richard, at the moment we don't have that specific requirement enabled where, it'll toggle the show password. So you just kind of had to go in there blind and make sure you don't make any spelling errors. So that's basically the way. But we don't, but the options that we do provide are going and changing the way your member portal looks. So that, as I showed you guys before, you can do that with your advanced visual editor. Um,
And there was another question. We do need more clarification. Naresh has responded
uh-huh.
about creating a workflow using Zoho Blueprints. I do think Zoho Blueprints is like a CRM template,
Okay.
and they want to integrate. I mean, to correct me if I'm wrong, Alan, but it is highly based on the scenario. I do think so. It should be seamless because we integrate seamlessly with CRM. So whatever field you would like to integrate and record your data, I think it should flow into your blueprint. If that's the case, there shouldn't
Exactly.
be a different workaround for this at all, Alan. So
Yeah. If,
uh,
if that is what it is pertaining to, then that would be a
yeah.
seamless integration with CRM Insights because we're already integrated. So there are quite a few questions that have come up in the chats as well. Um,
I think
oh, okay. This is
Charles,
nice.
thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. So Charles says that he finds Sites does a much better job on mobile than any other expensive template that he's used on WordPress. So that's a big win for us. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Jesse, thank you for joining us. So we're going to keep this portal open for a little while longer. If any of you have any other questions that you'd like to ask any of us, be sure to shoot them our way. We'll be more than happy to answer your queries or hear your feedback. So we're just trying to make this as interactive and get to know all of you a little better. So
Freddie has said thank you, Christine.
thank you. Should have probably run a poll to understand how many of you all are already using sites and how many
Yeah.
of you all are new to it. Should have probably done that.
Are there any plans to integrate sites with Desk? Do you
Sites with
have an answer for
does.
that, Christine? So usually most people what they do is it integrates with CRM and CRM integrates with Desk, and that's how the
But the integration that we have with CRM right now is only the web forms. So if you have like a web form on your site, that is where your data is going to go via your CRM. So it's not going to connect with every module that CRM has to offer.
okay.
So that is the situation. So when it comes down to desk in that way, I don't really think that that is an option at the moment, Marcus, but we can see what we can do about this. And based on the requirement, maybe we can add that to our list of priorities. So, right, we will take that into consideration. Thank you, Marcus. There is, okay, in chat. That's wonderful. Thank you, Charles. So he's tried quite a few products like Muse and Dreamweaver, and he has finally settled on Sight. So this is the kind of feedback that we love to hear. Thank you so much.
Charles, please do enter your site URL so we can take a look at it,
For
and
sure.
yeah, I mean that would be great. So we did have this guy initially sites might look a bit technical, but
Daunting, yes.
but once you get, I mean, I feel like all tools are like that. I never got hold of WordPress,
Right.
but I found sites and commerce extremely easy.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that aspect.
quick personal story. Like when I joined the team, like I had no idea what a site builder was, and then like zero technical background, and I came in and then I had to go at it, and it was pretty easy to use. So there's like real life use case.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just getting the hang of it basically. Once you kind of get the hang of how to operate the tools and stuff, it's very easy to like put things together. So the ease of use is very good on Zoho sites, if I do say so myself.
Charles is a Zoho partner, so you may not want me show my site. I have subscription plugged into it as well as an online chat.
Okay. Thank you so much, Charles. Yes.
Yeah.
That's all right. Are there any other questions or?
So Charles, like, do drop in a email if you're a partner. We are also trying to build our partner list and things for commerce and sites, so we can also reach out. I mean, I'm
Community
sure
groups.
you would probably be. Uh, Thank you.
There we
So,
go.
yeah, cool. Thank you so much.
Okay. So
If there are no more questions,
there
we
is
can.
one question from Brett who asks, what's the best way to set up files for a client to access in private client portal we give them? For example, if they can see each employee agreement for their company by logging into their private website portal and see. Um, yeah, so apart from setting up pages that you can enable access for, you can also set up particular files that you would like to be accessed as well. So when you go into member portal, you can, when you're grouping which people can access what, there are pages that you can choose from, and there are the files that you've uploaded as well. So it's just a matter of selecting that, giving a name for it for like your own understanding, and then you have to add your members to it, and then it's as simple as setting it up as that, Brett. You just take a look at the member portal. It's in your settings under the general section. You can find it over there, and then you can just kind of toggle and configure as you go. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you, Wilhelmina. Thank you for joining us. And are there any other questions, Ritika?
No, I don't see any. I don't see anything else. We'll keep the portal open for a
Sure.
few more minutes.
Keep it open for a few
Yeah.
more minutes. Maybe if anyone's typing anything. Okay, got something up in the chat.
Alan, are you addressing question related to Blueprint? Alan, yeah, we did answer it like few minutes ago. So if it is it the CRM Blueprint that you're talking about, like the template that CRM has, is that what you're referring to? Okay, so ideally, the flow of data is seamless from sites to CRM. So I mean, we haven't personally, I haven't seen a use case for the CRM's blueprint, but if you connect the content to fall in the right field, I'm sure it should be seamless, Alan. But I can check with this, but even our tech team will have to run this scenario, and only then we can have like a correct answer for you. So we will email you, Alan. Just Christine, make a note of it, and
Yes, I'll do that.
so we
Yeah.
will email you this scenario.
We have another question from Brett who asked, how do we get an evaluation of how our SEO is set up on our site? Is there someone at Zoho that helps with this? So the SEO that we have on Zoho sites, we have it both page-wise and site-wide, and so we don't really provide an evaluation for it. More or less, it's just something that you could do on your own, where you can add descriptions and keywords based on the content of that page or based on the content of your website itself. So it's basically just an understanding that you have of the content that you're putting out and what you may think would strike with the people who are trying to view your website, and what could get get you those hits, to get you ranked on Google search engines. But what you could also do is use our integration with PageSense. So that will really give you like an in-depth evaluation of how your page and your site is performing all in all. And so PageSense has, the heat maps and the A/B testing and all the type of things that you can, even URL A/B testing, so you can see like what URL works better. So you can check, which components of your website can be changed and the content and everything. So that is why we integrate with both PageSense and Marketing Hub as well. So it's a one-click integration. So that coupled along with the SEO that you do for your site will give you like a really robust or like well-rounded understanding of how your site is performing online. So I hope that answers your question, Brett.
But Brett, we
Yes.
don't really have somebody
Yeah, we
here
don't have like a person.
person because we are more or less like a technology provider. But yeah, but if you are having like a sites Zoho sites account, plus you can actually email to marketing@zohosites.com. We can probably take a look at like an overview level of the basic tweaks that you can make or something like that. That is something from the marketing team we can do for you, Brett. So do feel free to email us. But again, it cannot be something as in depth as an SEO agency can do for you. So
Yeah, we
yeah,
can just provide our collective opinions.
yeah, collective opinions and yeah. More or less like SEO, your meta titles description, we can just do like a back end run through Spyfoo or something like that and give you like a holistic view of how your website is set up, something.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So Charles, you might have to read this, Christine. Like
Mm-hmm.
he feels like there is a kind of a confusion in the naming rows versus column. I'm not as familiar with site builder as you are, so uh, I have used the tool. I haven't really.
Yeah, so it's basically the way you have built your page. And so what happens is that we have different content containers, such as row and column. So it depends on how you've stacked your content. So if you have a section and within that you have a row and within that you have a column. So if you want to access that row, you're going to have to click on the drop down and then you will get like the row, which will kind of be like engulfing your column in a way. It's just a way for you to understand like how the content in your page is stacked up. So it's not like, it could be confusing, but once you see how it is like arranged, you'll get a better understanding. And plus, we have like that little dotted line that indicates like which part you're clicking on or which part you're using. So trust me, many times I have deleted rows or deleted sections, but then that's why we came up with that very nifty undo button. So it's all good to go. But yes, that could be a little confusing, but that's just how the stack of the page is with the content in regards to that, Charles. Yeah, he
Right.
says that it was just a little thing that made it a tad bit confusing. Yeah, that is just like what I would call a rookie mistake. So with the site builder, like in the beginning, it's going to be like a little confusing, but then that's just kind of how it was designed and stuff. So once you get a little familiar with the way that works and stuff, you wouldn't make that mistake again. But thank you for bringing that up because that would be probably a mistake that other people are facing as well. So thanks for bringing that to our notice, Charles. Okay.
I think if there aren't any more questions.
Mhm. Maybe we'll just leave it open for just a few more.
Yeah.
Oh, see, there we go.
His visual editor isn't called advanced visual editor. Why are you lying to them, Christine? What
I
is
am
this?
not. Oh my goodness, no. So when you get, so the advanced visual editor is actually within the visual editor itself. Shall I just do a quick screen share to show you where it is, or maybe I can do that. So just give me a quick moment. Let's see if this doesn't fail on me. Kritika, if you can just affirm
It's still dark. Yes, now I can see it.
Okay, so we'll get over to the site builder. So once you go in the settings, you have the visual editor, and then you have the advanced option within. So you have the advanced option within the visual editor itself. It's right over here. You just have to click on it and then you can access all of these settings for the element and the header. Was that visible?
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, he doesn't have what to do if he doesn't have the advanced button. Brett, we are sure you should be having, right, Christine?
What? Okay, well, that comes under, I think it's part of the Pro plan. Is it
Uh,
part of the Pro plan? I'm sorry, bro. Let me just take a
Naresh,
quick look at
yeah,
that. It is part of the Pro plan. Okay, I thought that it was this issue where the button is kind of hidden within that tool
yeah.
itself. Okay, so if you don't have it, you're probably on the standard plan, Brett. So if you upgrade to the Pro plan, you can access the visual editor.
I think Naresh can quickly confirm that as well.
Waiting for. Yep. All right, Brett. I'm sorry about that. Okay, I guess that brings us to the end of this session. If there aren't any questions or if something pops up later while you guys are building the websites and stuff, be sure to contact us at marketing@zohosites.com and we'll be willing to answer any questions or queries or even just talk if there's anything that you guys would like to talk about. So thank you so much for joining this session. Thank you, Kritika. Thank you, Naresh, for answering and engaging with everybody, and I appreciate it. So with that being said, goodbye everybody and have a nice day until next time.
Thank you,
Happy.
Christine.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Jeremy. Thank you, everyone. All right,
Yeah.
then.
Bye
We'll be sending
bye.
over the recording in a day or two. So, yeah. Thank you,
All right.
everyone.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice day. Bye bye.